Imagine a woman standing at the edge of a forest, her heart pounding with the call of the unknown. The path ahead is shadowed, winding through ancient trees that whisper secrets of growth, pain, and transformation. She hesitates, clutching a small bundle of familiar comforts her dreams, her fears, her untested beliefs about who she is. This woman is not alone. She is every woman who has ever felt the tug of immaturity, the seductive pull to remain the Puella Aeterna eternal girl, forever young, forever unburdened by the weight of true selfhood. Yet in her hesitation lies a profound question. Why do some women struggle to step into emotional maturity, repeating the same self-sabotaging patterns in relationships and life? Welcome to a journey through the lens of Carl Jung's analytical psychology, where we'll explore the psychology of female immaturity. We'll uncover why some women remain emotionally stuck, tethered to the archetype of the eternal girl, and how Jung's concepts of the psyche, the shadow, and individuation offer a map to break free. This is not just a story about women, it's a story about the human soul, the universal quest for growth, and the courage to face the unknown within. Carl Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist who revolutionized our understanding of the psyche, believed that every individual carries a unique destiny process he called individuation. This is the lifelong journey of becoming whole, integrating the conscious and unconscious parts of ourselves to live authentically. Yet, for some women, this journey stalls. They linger in a state Jung associated with the Puella Aeterna, a Latin term meaning eternal girl. The Puella is not a literal child, but a psychological archetype, a woman who, regardless of age, clings to youth, dependency, and the safety of the untested self. Picture her. She's charming, spontaneous, and radiant with possibility. She dreams big, but struggles to follow through. In relationships, she seeks partners who play the role of parent or savior, craving validation over partnership. In her career, she flits from one passion to another, fearing commitment to a single path. Her life is a kaleidoscope of half-finished projects, broken promises to herself, and a quiet, gnawing sense that time is slipping away. Why does she stay here, in this liminal space between girlhood and womanhood? Jung would argue it's not mere laziness or lack of will. The Puella Aeterna is a symptom of a deeper psychological struggle, refusal to confront the shadow, the hidden parts of the psyche that hold our fears, insecurities, and unacknowledged desires. To understand her, we must first understand Jung's model of the psyche. Jung envisioned the psyche as a dynamic system composed of several layers. The ego, the conscious self, the I we present to the world. The personal unconscious, a repository of repressed memories, emotions, and experiences unique to the individual. The collective unconscious, a deeper layer shared by all humanity, filled with archetypes, universal patterns of behavior and symbols, like the mother, the hero, or the Puella Aeterna. The shadow, the dark, unacknowledged aspects of ourselves, our shame, anger, or traits we deem unacceptable. The self, the archetype of wholeness, the guiding force that pushes us toward individuation. For the Puella, the ego clings tightly to a youthful identity, resisting the call of the self to grow. The shadow, meanwhile, grows heavier with each avoided responsibility, each unexamined fear. The Puella's life becomes a cycle of self-sabotage, not because she's incapable, but because she's afraid of failure, of aging, of losing the sparkle that defines her. Why does the Puella Aeterna emerge? To answer this, we must look at both the individual and the cultural forces that shape her. Jung taught that the shadow is not inherently evil, it's simply the part of us we refuse to see. For the Puella, the shadow might hold her fear of being unlovable without her charm, her anger at a world that demands perfection, or her grief over lost opportunities. To avoid these painful truths, she distracts herself with fleeting pleasures or external validation. She might chase toxic relationships, seeking partners who mirror her inner chaos. or lose herself in social media, where curated images of youth and beauty feed her illusion of eternal girlhood. Consider Sarah, a 32-year-old graphic designer. Sarah is vibrant and creative, but her relationships follow a predictable pattern. She falls hard for men who promise stability, only to feel suffocated when they ask for commitment. She leaves, blaming them for not understanding her. And the cycle repeats. In her career, she's brimming with ideas but rarely finishes a project, paralyzed by the fear that her work won't be perfect. Sarah is a modern Puella, her immaturity rooted not in a lack of talent, but in her refusal to face her shadow, her fear of vulnerability, her perfectionism, her belief that she must always be the fun, free-spirited girl to be loved. Society plays a significant role in perpetuating the Puella archetype. Women are often conditioned to prioritize appearance and likability over depth or independence. Media glorifies youth, equating aging with irrelevance. From fairy tales to Instagram influencers, the message is clear. A woman's value lies in her beauty, her charm, her ability to please others. This cultural script traps women in a paradox. They're expected to be both innocent and seductive, dependent yet capable, forever young yet wise. Jung would call this a persona problem. The persona is the social mask we wear, and for many women, it's a mask of the Puella suite, agreeable, non-threatening. But a persona that's too rigid stifles growth. The Puella clings to this mask, fearing that without it, she'll be rejected. The irony? Her fear of rejection leads to self-rejection, as she denies her own potential for growth. Jung also pointed to the mother complex as a key factor in psychological immaturity. This isn't about blaming mothers, but about the archetypal mother, the source of nurturing, protection, and sometimes smothering control. A woman with a strong mother complex may struggle to separate from the safety of dependency, whether it's reliance on a parent, a partner, or even society's expectations. She may fear independence, associating it with abandonment or failure. Take Emily, a 28-year-old teacher. Emily lives with her parents, not out of financial necessity, but because it's easier. Her mother makes her meals, manages her schedule, and offers constant advice. Emily dreams of moving out and pursuing her passion for writing, but the thought of leaving her mother's care fills her with guilt and anxiety. Her mother complex keeps her tethered to the Puella, unable to claim her own life. If the Puella Aeterna is a state of arrested development, how does a woman break free? Jung's answer lies in individuation, the courageous process of integrating the ego, shadow, and self to become whole. This is not a quick fix, but a lifelong journey, requiring self-reflection, shadow work, and a willingness to embrace the unknown. Step 1. Facing the shadow. The first step is to confront the shadow. This means acknowledging the parts of oneself that feel shameful or unacceptable. The anger, the fear, the selfishness. Shadow work can take many forms: journaling, therapy, or simply sitting with uncomfortable emotions. For Sarah, it might mean admitting that her fear of commitment stems from a deeper fear of being unworthy of love. For Emily, it could involve recognizing her resentment toward her mother's control and her own role in enabling it. Jung believed that the shadow holds immense creative energy. By embracing it, the Puella transforms her fears into fuel for growth. She learns that vulnerability is not weakness, but strength. That imperfection is not failure, but humanity. Step 2. Reclaiming independence. Individuation requires breaking free from dependency, whether it's emotional, financial, or psychological. This doesn't mean rejecting relationships, but redefining them. The Puella must learn to stand on her own, to trust her own judgment, to take risks without needing external approval. For Emily, this might mean moving out and facing the discomfort of independence. For Sarah, it could involve committing to a single creative project and seeing it through, imperfections and all. Jung emphasized the importance of active imagination, a technique where one dialogues with the unconscious. through visualization or writing. A woman might imagine herself as the Puella, asking, "What are you afraid of? What do you need to grow?" This dialogue can reveal hidden desires and guide her toward action. Step 3. Embracing the anima and the self. Jung believed that every woman carries an inner masculine principle, the animus, which represents logic, assertiveness, and independence. The Puella often represses her animus, fearing it will make her unfeminine. But integrating the animus allows her to balance her nurturing, feminine qualities with strength and agency. She becomes neither the helpless girl nor the hardened cynic, but a woman who embodies both softness and power. Ultimately, individuation leads to the self, the archetype of wholeness. The self is not a destination but a process, a constant becoming. The woman who embraces herself is no longer defined by youth or charm, but by her authenticity, her resilience, her capacity to live fully in the present. To bring this to life, let's tell a story, a modern myth inspired by Jung's ideas and the classic hero's journey. Meet Lily, a 35-year-old event planner with a contagious laugh and a knack for making everyone feel special. On the surface, Lily's life is perfect. She's the life of every party, adored by friends, and always chasing the next adventure. But beneath her sparkling exterior, Lily is restless. Her relationships never last, her savings are non-existent, and her dreams of starting her own business remain just that, dreams. She feels like she's running out of time, yet she can't pinpoint why. One night, Lily has a vivid dream. She's standing in a meadow, dressed in a flowing white dress, her hair adorned with flowers. A shadowed figure approaches a woman who looks like Lily but older, wiser, her eyes filled with both sorrow and strength. "You can't stay here forever," the figure says. "The forest awaits." Lily wakes up trembling, the dream haunting her. It's her call to adventure, the first whisper of her individuation. Lily begins to notice patterns in her life, the way she avoids conflict, the way she seeks approval from others, the way she sabotages her own goals. She starts journaling, a practice that feels awkward at first but soon becomes a lifeline. In her entries, she confronts her shadow, her fear of aging, her resentment toward friends who seem to have figured it out, her shame at still feeling like a lost girl. She seeks therapy, where she explores her mother complex. Growing up, Lily's mother was her best friend, but also her critic, praising her beauty while dismissing her ambitions. Lily realizes she's been living to please her mother, staying the good girl to avoid rejection. Therapy becomes her descent into the underworld, where she faces her dragonshire insecurities, her anger, her grief. Through therapy and self-reflection, Lily begins to integrate her shadow and animus. She takes small but bold steps. She enrolls in a business course, opens a savings account, and sets boundaries in her relationships. She stops chasing men who promise to fix her and starts dating with intention, seeking partners who respect her growth. Each step feels like a victory, a reclaiming of her power. One day, Lily revisits her dream meadow in a visualization exercise. This time, she steps into the forest, guided by the older, wiser version of herself. She finds a clearing where a golden chalice glows, the symbol of herself. As she drinks from it, she feels a surge of clarity. Her purpose is not to be perfect or eternally young, but to live authentically, to create, to love, to grow. Lily launches her event planning business, a venture that combines her creativity with her newfound discipline. It's not perfect, and there are setbacks, but she perseveres. Her relationships deepen as she shows up as her true self, not the Puella mask. She mentors younger women, sharing her story of transformation, helping them navigate their own journeys. Lily's story doesn't end with a fairy tale, happily ever after. Individuation is ongoing, a spiral of growth and discovery. But she's no longer the eternal girl. She's a woman, whole and becoming. Her life a testament to the power of facing the shadow and embracing the self. Lily's story is not just her own, it's a mirror for all of us. The psychology of female immaturity, as seen through Jung's lens, reveals a universal truth. Growth requires courage. Whether it's the Puella Aeterna, the mother complex, or the fear of the shadow, we all face barriers to becoming our true selves. And while this exploration focuses on women, men too grapple with their own versions of immaturity, the puer aeternus, or eternal boy, for example. Society doesn't make this journey easy. Women are bombarded with messages that equate worth with youth, beauty, and compliance. But Jung reminds us that the psyche is not bound by culture. The self is always calling, always urging us toward wholeness. The question is whether we'll listen. If you recognize the Puella in yourself, here are Jung-inspired steps to begin your individuation. 1. Journal your shadow. Write about your fears, insecurities, and unacknowledged desires. What parts of yourself do you hide? Why? 2. Practice active imagination. Visualize your inner Puella. Ask her what she needs to feel safe enough to grow. 3. Set small goals. Break the cycle of self-sabotage by committing to one achievable goal, like finishing a project or saving a small amount of money. 4. Seek support. Therapy, mentorship, or a trusted friend can provide a safe space to explore your shadow and animus. 5. Embrace imperfection. Let go of the need to be perfect. Celebrate your efforts, not just your outcomes. As we close, let's return to the woman at the edge of the forest. She's still there, her heart racing, her bundle of comforts clutched tightly. But now, she takes a deep breath and steps forward. The shadows don't disappear, but they no longer paralyze her. She knows the path to maturity is not about erasing the Puella, but integrating her playfulness, her dreams, her boundless potential into a fuller, wiser self. Carl Jung once wrote, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." For the woman who dares to face her shadow, to reclaim her independence, to embrace herself, that privilege is not just a possibility, it's a promise. The forest awaits. Will you step in? Thank you for joining me on this journey through the psychology of female immaturity. If this resonated with you, share it with someone who might need it. And let me know in the comments, what's one step you'll take today to embrace your own individuation? Until next time, keep exploring the mystery of your soul. Peace.